Long ago, during a time when Israel was facing famine and hardship, a woman named Naomi left her homeland of Bethlehem with her husband Elimelech and their 2 sons in search of survival in the land of Moab. At first, they hoped this new land would bring relief from their struggles, but life took a heartbreaking turn. Naomi's husband died, leaving her alone with her 2 sons. In time, her sons married Moabite women named Ruth and Orpah, and for a moment it seemed that Naomi's life might regain some happiness. But tragedy struck again. After several years, Naomi's 2 sons also died, leaving her and her daughters-in-law widowed and facing an uncertain future. Naomi felt crushed by grief and believed her life had become bitter with loss. When she heard that the famine in Bethlehem had ended, she decided to return to her homeland. Naomi encouraged Ruth and Orpah to stay in Moab where they could find new husbands and rebuild their lives. Orpah tearfully said goodbye and remained behind, but Ruth refused to leave Naomi's side.
With deep devotion and faith, Ruth spoke words that would echo through history. Ruth, where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God.
Together they began the long journey back to Bethlehem. When Naomi returned, the townspeople were surprised to see her again, but Naomi felt that her life had been emptied by sorrow. Yet even in her pain, God was quietly working behind the scenes. To provide food for them both, Ruth went out to gather leftover grain in the fields during harvest, a humble practice known as gleaning. It was there that Ruth entered the field of a kind and honorable man named Boaz, a relative of Naomi's late husband. Boaz noticed Ruth's hard work and her loyalty to Naomi and was moved by her character. Instead of treating her as a stranger, he showed kindness and protection, allowing her to gather grain safely and even instructing his workers to leave extra for her. Naomi soon realized that Boaz could be their family's kinsman redeemer, someone who could restore their family's future and provide security for Ruth. Following Naomi's guidance, Ruth approached Boaz with humility and courage, asking him to redeem their family line. Boaz responded with integrity and compassion. He publicly agreed to take responsibility as their redeemer, ensuring that Naomi's family would not disappear from Israel. Boaz married Ruth, and through this act of faithfulness and redemption, Naomi's sorrow was transformed into joy. In time, Ruth bore a son, Obed. The neighbors gathered around Naomi, rejoicing that God had restored her life. They said, "Blessed be the Lord, who has not left you without a redeemer today." Naomi took the child in her arms and cared for him as her own. Ruth's steadfast love, once spoken on a dusty road, had blossomed into a new beginning. What famine had taken, God was quietly restoring. Bread in the fields, family at the hearth, and a future taking root in Bethlehem. The women said, "A son has been born to Naomi, and hope has returned to her house. That child, Obed, would grow to father Jesse, and Jesse would father David, the shepherd who became Israel's king." Through this humble line, across centuries of wandering, exile, and return, God kept his promise. From David's house would come Jesus Christ, Savior of the world, light for those in darkness and mercy for the brokenhearted. Ruth, a foreigner welcomed by grace, was woven into that story not by power or wealth, but by loyalty, courage, and faith that held fast when everything else was lost. What began in grief ends in redemption. The journey of Naomi and Ruth reminds us that when hope seems distant, simple acts of kindness and steadfast faith can carry us forward, because God is still guiding the story toward restoration.